Hey everyone, welcome back to Yoga with Concha. My name is Concha and welcome. If you are new, hello. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And if you are, a subscriber, current subscriber, well, welcome back and hello. Today I'm talking about presence, right? To give yourself the energy of presence and these wonderful effects that I have personally experienced as presence. Well, let me tell you one thing. Most people would be turning off the video by now because they want something fast, right? People want like a quick fix. Let me tell you, that was me for a really long time. I wanted just a quick fix. I wanted to feel better, right? I had this rustling energy in my heart between my solar plexus and my heart chakra. And I never knew what that was. I was like getting acupuncture. I was doing all of these different healing modalities. And I was like, what the heck is going on with my body? Because it was super uncomfortable. And what I had realized later on was that it was unprocessed emotions. And so this is why I want to talk about presence today, because I wanted to get a quick fix. I was running from my emotions. I was running from anything that was in depth that I could think of. I mean, I was running for a good 10 or 15 years, let me tell you that. I was running from myself, honey. And there was no payoff. There was no payoff to running away from myself. There was no payoff to not processing these emotions. In fact, they were building up quite a lot. They were building up in my chest. And even at one point, you could barely touch me. Like, I could not touch this part of my body, right? Right in that space. I could barely touch it without it being painful, excruciating pain. Okay, because let me tell you, that energy was just building up and building up and building up, and it was not going to be released. It's not like acupuncture could release it. That wasn't working. What was releasing it though was meditation. I released it through my experience of Vipassana. And if you want to learn more about Vipassana, then I'm going to put a link below to the video about my Vipassana experience. I've done 7 Vipassanas in a matter of 2.5 years. And the reason why I kept going one after the other was because that was the only thing that can cure, that can heal this buildup of energy. I mean, it was crazy. So basically what this was is that, if you're noticing like something's going on, you cannot figure that out. Like, it is ridiculous. You don't know what to do. You're trying everything. Then let me tell you something. The key is presence. Because this is the thing. We are born whole. We are whole. I'm whole right now. You're whole right now. But guess what happens? This is what I've experienced in my journey. Is that, I'm not very religious, but in the Bible it talks about bondage. And don't click off the video, right? I'm just kidding. But in bondage, it's almost like a mummy is wrapped up with all of these mummy wraps. Okay? And that's literally what it felt like when I started doing my meditation. Was it felt like I had all of these wraps around me, especially on my back. And all of those were imprints of energy that I hadn't been able to process. Imprints of people's opinions. Imprints of teachers. Imprints of parents. Imprints of anything you can think of. Imprints, right? A lot of imprints. Society's idea of what success is, programs, ways of thinking that weren't serving me, how I grew up, and all of that crap that was not right, that was inaccurate, right? It all just started building up. It started building up on me. Right? And so what I have realized is that these bandages are the buildup, right? The bondage that it talks about is this buildup of energy, right? It's almost as if those little imprints, you'll notice this when you start meditating. You'll notice that when you give those imprints presence, you will be able to release them. They will dissolve. You know, it takes a little bit of time, but you'll notice you got a pain in your body. That's literally your body asking you for presence, right? I was watching a video by Thich Nhat Hanh, and it was about how do you know when you love yourself? And I was like, you know what? You know, I gotta know what this master thinks of this. What does it mean? So let's take a moment, and what do you think that loving yourself means? What do you think? Okay, think about it just for a second, and we'll get to it. I'll show you some nature. Okay, so I gotta link this video too, because Thich Nhat Hanh says that the way you know you love yourself is by understanding that your body is magnificent, understanding the way that everything works, the way that it functions, the way that we are translating vibration through all of our 5 senses, right? The way that we process food and how we gain muscle, and us on a cellular level, right? This magnificence of our body. And he says, you know, he talks about our DNA, that, you know, it's not just that we are living on the earth, but it's that we are the earth. It's not that we're just seeing the sun, but it is that we have that energy within us. Our cells are a conglomerate of all of the cosmos. That's what he says. And so this is really profound, because are you seeing how magnificent your body is? Because this is the thing, when you give your body presence, when you take the time with your body, let me tell you, the most challenging thing in the world is to sit down and meditate and get off that Instagram, right? YouTube. I love YouTube. And it's because sometimes can be hard to meditate, right? But I've had to become dedicated. I've had to. And so I've been meditating every single day for the past 6 weeks. And it's been profound. It's been amazing. But what I have learned from this is that, well, like I said, going back to this idea that we are whole. Let me explain this to you. We are born whole. We are whole. I am whole right here. Okay? I am whole right here. But then what happens is that those imprints that are on us, those other people's thoughts, those programs, those other ways of thinking, those things that don't resonate, that we take on as ours anyways because we want to fit in, that was me. That was me. And when we feel into our own energy and we see that it's muddled, but we don't know that it's muddled because we're not taking that time with ourselves. We can't distinguish, is that mine or is that theirs? So what happens is that we feel like, oh, we need to heal. But the thing is, this is the thing, all it is letting go. That's all it is dropping the bags, as Bashar says, dropping the bags and letting go of those bags of junk. Those bags of programs, those bags of beliefs that are not serving us, that are not serving at all, right? So give yourself the gift of presence. I'm telling you, I keep saying that word, but this is the thing. What I have realized as I meditate is that before, let me tell you, it was really challenging. Like, I've done all these vipassanas, but it was structured, you know, and it was designated 10 days. So I was there and I was like, you know what, I'm here, I might as well. I don't have my phone, I don't have a journal, so I might as well do it. But at the meantime, I wasn't really meditating that much. I mean, I teach yoga, I was meditating 10 minutes here and there, but it wasn't a dedication. Now, another thing is that if you want to open your third eye is already open. That's the funny thing, is that your third eye, your heart chakra, your throat, your way to express is already open. But the only thing is that we still have those beliefs of what everybody else and their mama think, and that stops us from being in our true essence. That stops us. Because it's intimidating. We don't want to we don't want to, we want to go with these programs that we've done for so long because that's our comfort zone. But the way to release those programs is by breathing through. When you realize, it's about realizing it first, right? You got to realize it first. And then when you finally realize, oh, I'm going to take a moment, I'm going to pause, and I'm going to breathe this one out. And I'm going to respond differently. And when you respond differently, that's when the frontal cortex is getting all those neural pathways clicking in a whole new way. And then you're going to lock it in. All right, have you ever been eating late at night, you know, snacking and munching and all of that stuff? And you're like, oh my God, like this makes me feel so bad in the morning, but I can't stop. I can't stop, right? Or, you know, you go in for dessert second, third, fourth time, or whatever it is, you know your little vice. Okay, that's because the neural pathways, right? Our neural pathways, they've got a little hold on us, which is good because when you create that good habit, you're gonna really be able to dive into that new habit. But it will definitely take a little bit of time to change that habit. So what I'm saying is that, you know, it's a challenge to change that old habit because, you know, it's a pattern. Right? And we all have patterns. But when you change a pattern and people see that, they will be inspired because you're giving them permission to change their patterns. Okay? And that's powerful. You are powerful. Remember that you are whole. Your throat chakra, the way you speak up, the way you connect, the way you relay that message, your throat chakra is already open, baby. And so is your third eye. Let me tell you. Your third eye is open, but it's just what we are so used to as a society, what we are so used to as a collective, right? It's not normal to see the third eye stuffs, you know, these, you know, like Teal Swan, I love her work, you know, but she sees on a whole new level, she sees that energy, right? And other people do too. Other people, we all have a gift. And I guarantee you that your gift is the gift that you always thought of as a kid. Oh, I wish I could see that. Now, if that's X-ray vision, you know what? That could be your gift. But you got to get in that presence of your own wonderful energy because that's when you can release all that other crap that's weighing you down, right? It's like a luggage. You're holding it, you're ready to go somewhere, but it's so heavy, you gotta put that luggage down and you just gotta wear the shirt on your back. Okay, you know what I'm saying. It's really just about, ooh, there's all these little mosquitoes, you know, because I'm in the woods. Did you hear that? The little crickets. I love it. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. I wanted to say that, you know, you're already whole. Of course, it's easier said than done because we're so used to a certain way that we're like, well, you know, like for example, my bestie said, "Do you trust me?" And I said, "Well, what does trust look like to you?" Because, you know, what if I trust that person, but their definition of trust is completely different than mine, and I'm trusting them in a whole different way than they would expect me to trust, right? Do I trust them? Yes. Is my definition of trust the same as theirs? I don't know. But to understand my clear definition, and if I'm being wholehearted and authentic and honest about the way that I am showing up or the way that I'm doing things, then I have to understand what feels good for me, right? What feels good? What is my definition of trust? And does it feel good to me? Does it feel good to trust? Does it feel safe to trust, right? And you know, it's always good to ask that question because There's a quote by Ian van Sant, and I hope to get this quote right, but if not, I'm gonna post it up in this video, which is that you should never be too scared that you can't ask the question. Okay, you should never be too scared that you can't ask the question. Okay, so, you know, get that open dialogue going. And, you know, you're already whole. It is really nice to have some help, though, to understand and remember yourself to what that feels like, to what that means to you. Right? We can say, yeah, like, and as Abraham Hicks says, you know, we already have vortexes worth millions and trillions of dollars, right? Of course, that's what they say. But how do we know what that feels like? How do we know? Right? And Teal Swan has a video about this too, which is, I think it's called Energy Signatures. Anyways, I just wanted to come on and tell you that, you know, to just be in that space where you can stay in your own energy, where you can feel what you're feeling, where you can process those emotions, where you can allow yourself to let go of what does not serve and just reminisce, write it down, be clear. Who am I and who do I want to be? All right, because it's really profound when you get in that space. Okay, so anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day. And yeah, it's getting dark out here, but you know, the lighting is still good. Lighting is still good, baby. So anyways, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you all very soon, okay? Mwah.